Hello and welcome to our beginners kettlebell workout. Now before you start this routine, you will need to know some fundamental basic kettlebell exercises such as the hold, the rack and the swing of the kettlebell. Now in the description below, I've given you some links that will send you to some short demonstrations of these positions. Once you've mastered these positions, you're now ready for today's workout. Now we will start with the warm-up first of all to mobilise the joints, raise the body temperature and prepare the major muscle groups of the workout ahead. So if you could start with the legs shoulder width apart with the arms in front of the thighs. We're going to move the arms out to the side here, squeezing the shoulder blades together and simply bring the arms back in. If you could breathe out when you squeeze the shoulder blades, keep the head up, look forward. And this is the third rep of 5, so if we could do 2 more repetitions. One more time. And now we will mobilise the neck, so if you can bring the chin down to chest and then point your chin up to the ceiling. And repeat. As you're performing this movement, keep the shoulder blades pulled down by keeping your fingertip, reaching toward the floor with the fingertips, so keep those shoulder blades down. One more time. Now keeping those arms down, can you rotate looking over your shoulder, one side to the other. Perform 4 more repetitions. Last 2. And set. Can you bring the arms up in front so your elbows are in line with your shoulders? Move the arms out to the side, stretching your pecs, squeeze the shoulder blades together and return your arms back to the start position. Breathe out as you squeeze the shoulder blades. Keep the head up, look forward. And keep the ribs down as well. Do not arch your lower back. So maintain a neutral spine. One more time. From this position here, can you interlink the fingers behind the head? Again, you're squeezing the shoulder blades. Bring the elbows in and then pull the elbows back. Again, breathe out as you squeeze the shoulder blades. Keep the head up, look forward. Again, keep the rib cage down. Do not arch the lower back. One more time. And then hold this position here. Keep that squeeze between the shoulder blades. And now we're going to perform some side bends here. Move directly to the side. Feel the stretch through the side of the torso. We've done 6 of 10, so another 4 repetitions. 2 more. And if you could bring the arms down. We're going to start with the right arm here. So right palm moving up to the ceiling and then rotating the torso, keeping the arm close to the side of the head and the hip throughout this arm rotation. This is rep 5 of 10. Keep the arm nice and long throughout the movement. 1 more repetition. And now can you switch to the opposite arm? That's halfway, so another 5 repetitions. One more. And now can you bring both arms forward? Again, keep the arms nice and long. Keep the arms to the side of the head and the hip. Keep the head up, look forward. And that's the set there. If you could bring your hands onto your hips and move your hips directly to the side as I am now. If you could perform 2 more repetitions now. And set. From there, could you bring your feet in nice and close together with your hands on your thighs? If you could bend your knees as I am now, and then straighten the legs. Maintain the arch in the foot here by pressing the big toe and the heel into the ground. Keep the head up, look forward. 2 more knee bends, if we can perform one more. And now can you take a wide stance with the legs? Your feet are parallel, legs are nice and straight. And from here, can you push your hips back and bring your fingertips or your palms to the floor? Keeping the legs straight, can you rotate, looking to your right? Bring the hand back down and rotate, looking to your left. Breathe out every time you rotate. We're halfway at 5 here, so another 5 repetitions. And from there, can you keep the legs wide, but come up right here, as I am. Now we're going to perform a movement called a hip sway. So can you push your hips back, bend your right knee, so your right knee is aligned over the centre of right foot. Keep the head up, look forward, and press the arms forward as well. Can you simply return the hips back to the start position, and now switch to the opposite side. Again, keep that left knee over the centre of foot, driving your hips back, and switch to the opposite side. Breathe out every repetition. So you breathe out when you're loading in this position, and then breathe in on the transition, and then breathe out as you load. We've done 5 of 10, so another 5 reps. That's rep number 6. That's 8 complete. And one more will give you set. And again, could you keep your legs wide? For this next position, I'm just going to turn side on. And we are going to reach, you're going to push the hips back again, you're going to reach the hands through the legs like I am here. I would like you to keep your torso nice and still as you bring the arms up straight alongside your head. Bring the arms back between the legs and repeat. Keep the torso as still as you can. Keep looking between the legs at the ground behind you. We've currently done 7 out of 10 reps, so another 3. 3, 2, 1 more. And slowly come up and bring those feet in. If you could stand with the arms crossed in front of you for the next position, and could you bring your right knee to the floor? So right knee to the floor, extend your hips, so push your tailbone forward between the legs, arms out to the side, squeeze the shoulder blades, and now stand up onto your feet, and now swap to the left leg. And then back up. I'm just going to quickly turn side on so you can see my body position from the side here. I'd like to perform 6 of these ones. Currently done 4, so another 2. One more time. And if you could stay down on the knee, bring your hands onto the floor. I've currently got my right leg forward. So if you can push your hips up to the ceiling, straighten both legs until you feel a stretch here on the right hamstring. Bring the knee back to the ground and then immediately back up and find that same stretch. Breathe out every repetition. That's 4 of 5, so one more time. And now can you swap legs? And straight in, so this time we're looking for the stretch here on the left hamstring. Driving the hips up to the ceiling. And 2 more repetitions. One more. And if you could place both knees to the floor. We're going to move into what looks like a downward dog position here. So if you can push your hips up to the ceiling, you'll see that both of my knees are bent. I'd like yours to be bent too. Could you then push the shoulders forward so they cover your ears? Keep looking at your feet. Now from here, can you straighten your right leg and drive your right heel as close to the floor as you can? Bend that right knee back to where it started. Now move to the left leg. Straighten it until you feel the stretch through the back of the left leg and repeat. We're going to perform 10 repetitions. We've currently done 3. I'm going back to the left leg for 4. Keep pressing your arms hard into the ground with your tailbone driving up to the ceiling. We've done 7 of 10. One more. And return the knees to the ground. We're going to perform a movement called runner's lunge next. So can you bring the left leg forward with the right palm flat to the ground with the right palm underneath the right shoulder. From there, could you match my position? So fully extend your back leg, which is your right leg. Keep good load on the left leg, knee over centre of foot, and rotate the left arm. Breathe out as you rotate. Square the shoulders back up to the ground and repeat. Those hips stay nice and still, okay? So keep the hips as still as possible and fully extend your right leg. That's very important that the right leg is fully extended so you feel the stretch through the hip flexor on that right side. One more time. And that's your 5 reps. So when you swap, right leg forward, right knee over centre of right foot, left palm flat to the ground with it underneath the left shoulder. Match my position, fully extend that left leg, rotate looking to the right. Again, breathe out as you look to the right. Keep those hips as still as you can with the left leg fully extended. 2 more repetitions. One more time. And then bring the back knee to the floor and take a breather there. Okay, that's the warm-up complete. I'll be back with you in a few seconds' time to begin the kettlebell workout. Okay, we are now ready for round number 1. At the start of each round, I will briefly demonstrate the 4 exercises ahead before we start the timer. So, for the first exercise then, we're going to do a kneel-in halo. So, I would like you to pop down onto your knees with your hips into a posterior tilt. So you're going to tilt the pelvis toward the rib cage. It should feel like the tailbone tucks between the legs. You're going to squeeze your tummy muscles and squeeze your glutes. And you're going to keep those hips rigid in that position. The kettlebell will be held bottoms up as I'm demonstrating here with the head nice and still. But then would like you to brush your hair back with your right forearm and brush your hair forward with the left forearm and then repeat in the opposite direction. So that's exercise number 1. That's the kneel-in halo. Exercise number 2 will be the kettlebell swing. Now just remember, you should be familiar with the swing before you start this workout, okay? So the legs are shoulder width apart with the feet parallel, the knees are soft, both hands on the kettlebell, hinging well at the hip. We're going to swing the kettlebell back and forth. So that's our second position. Exercise number 3, back to that bottoms up hold on the kettlebell. We're going to do a side lunge with rotation. So we're going to take the right leg out to the side, sit the hips back. Right now my right knee is over centre of right foot. You come back to your start position and you rotate your torso looking to the right. Then we perform the same exercise to the left and rotate to the left. Okay, so that's the side lunge with rotation. And then finally we have the kettlebell windmill. So you should know how to insert the hand and rack the kettlebell. You should have learned that with the exercises in the description below, okay, those links I sent you. So you know this position already. From here, you will, if it's in my right arm, you're going to turn your toes 45 degrees to the left. Going to press the kettlebell to the ceiling. And then from here, you keep your eye on the kettlebell as you drive your hips out to the right, keeping both legs as straight as you can, and then coming all the way back up. How low you go depends on your flexibility, okay? So as we go through the workout, I'll give you some tips on where you should be aiming for. Okay, let's get ready to start with the halos. Okay, here we go. So those hips are in that posterior tilt. The head is nice and still. I would like you to breathe out every repetition. Just keep that head up. Pick a spot on the wall in front of you and just keep your eyes fixed on it. Whip the kettlebell around the head. Set, guys. If you could pop up onto your feet. Feet shoulder width apart, knees are soft, feet parallel. Connect the arms to the body as you swing the kettlebell through the legs. When the kettlebell goes through your legs, look at the floor. Then when the kettlebell's in front of you, look at the wall in front of you. Breathe out every repetition. As you breathe out, squeeze your glutes. Keep and maintain tempo. If you slow down, the exercise will become harder and you'll start to lose your form. Maintain your speed, maintain the momentum. And that's the swings. Side lunges next, so if you can get that bottomed up, hold again on the bell. Okay, we're going to move to the right first, and then rotate to the right. Now to the left. Make sure that when you load the leg, when you side lunge, your knee is over centre of foot, and you're loading the leg well, so you should be driving the hips back. Engage your tummy muscles when you rotate the torso. Breathe out when you side lunge. Breathe out when you rotate. Set, prepare the windmill. So clean the kettlebell into the rack position. Press the bell to the ceiling. Now, if it's in my right hand, I turn my toes 45 degrees to the left. So match my position here. Slowly adduct your hip. So drive your hip out to the right. Keep the kettlebell coming down in a straight line. Keep your eye on it. Then all the way back up to your start position. This is your start position, hips under shoulders. And then go again. Breathe in on the way down. Breathe out on the way up. Anywhere from your knee to the floor is the desired depth, okay? So if you can get to your knee with your left hand, that's absolutely fine. If you're a bit more flexible, you may be able to find the floor. Rack the kettlebell, and now can you prepare the left arm? So you clean it into rack position, press to the lockout, turn your toes 45 degrees to the right if it's in the left arm here, and away we go. We breathe in as we go down. Keep your eye on the kettlebell. It's coming down in a straight line, then it goes up in a straight line back to where you started. Hips under shoulders, squeeze your glutes, engage your tummy muscles. Again, breathe in on the way down, and breathe out on the way up. Remember, anywhere from the knee to the floor is good with the right arm, okay, for your depth. Keep the legs as straight as you can, like mine. And rack the kettlebell. Prepare the side lunge, so kettlebell, bottoms up again, okay? I'm going to move to the right first, sit the hips back, load the leg, and then rotate. Now to the left. Go through the breathing sequence. Breathe out as you hit the side lunge. Breathe out as you rotate. Set. We are back to the swings. Feet shoulder width apart. Glue your feet to the floor. So grip the floor well with your feet. And we're away. Connect those arms to the body as you swing through the legs. Look at the floor when the bow is between the legs. Then look forward at the wall when the kettlebell is in front of you. That's where you should breathe out. That's where you should squeeze the butt cheeks when the kettlebell is in front of you. Maintain your momentum, do not slow down. It's all in the hips, just keep moving those hips well. Maintain your speed. And get ready for the halo. So can you drop back onto the knees? Kettlebell bottoms up. Hips posterior tilt. And we're away. Whip the kettlebell around the head. Breathe out every repetition. One more repetition. And set, guys, well done. That completes round number 1, and I'll be back with you shortly to run through the movements for round number 2. Okay, I will briefly demonstrate the 4 exercises ahead for round number 2. Exercise number 1 will be a goblet squat press. So you hold the kettlebell as I'm demonstrating here. This is the goblet hold. Bring your palms together underneath the kettlebell. Elbows in tight to the rib cage, and the kettlebell is up against the chest. From here, set your legs roughly shoulder width apart with the toes turned out slightly. And from here, we're going to go into a deep squat position. And then I'd like you to press the bell in a straight line toward the ceiling. So have a look where the kettlebell's positioned here. Here I'm squeezing my butt cheeks. I just demonstrate the squat press one more time. And that's exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is a torso rotation. So the feet, shoulder width apart, root the floor really well with the feet. From here, whip the kettlebell from one side to the other as I'm demonstrating here. Really focus on squeezing your tummy muscles. To be honest, if you work with good intensity, you have no option but to engage your abdominals. Okay, so that's the kettlebell rotation. Exercise number 3 is the good morning. So you grab the kettlebell by the horns, like I'm demonstrating here. Place the kettlebell onto the upper back. There, like so. So place it right between the shoulder blades. And with your feet shoulder width apart and knees soft, you're going to drive the hips back until you feel the stretch on the hamstrings. You're going to keep your spine in a neutral position and return your hips back to the start position, squeezing your glutes. So that's the kettlebell good morning. And then to finish with, we finish with a kettlebell suitcase lunge. So the kettlebell is held to the side of the hip, as I've demonstrated here. If it's on my right side, I'm going to move my left leg back behind me. I'm going to keep good load on my right leg here with the knee over centre of foot, and simply stand back to the start position. Here I engage the glutes, engage the tummy muscles. And that's the suitcase lunge. Okay, so that's exercise number 4. Right then, let's get started with the first movement. Okay, goblet squat, exercise number 1, here we go. So into a deep squat position, press the bell in the straight line. Breathe out when you press the bell, and then breathe in as you squat. Prise those knees open every time you squat. You want your elbows inside the knees as I'm demonstrating. Keep the head up, look forward. When that kettlebell's above your head, you should be squeezing your bum cheeks. Root the floor really well with the feet. Heels and big toes connected to the ground, maintain the arch of the foot. Torso rotations next. Feet shoulder width apart, feet parallel, knees soft. Good grip on the bell. Whip the kettlebell from one side to the other. Your breathing pattern needs to be bespoke to you, okay guys? So you can breathe out every rep like I do. Or you could breathe out every other rep. Whatever works for you. Squeeze your tummy muscles. Maintain the speed as I'm doing. Do not slow down. Keep whipping the kettlebell side to side. Good work. Good morning's next. Grab the kettlebell by the horns. Place the bow onto the upper back. Set your feet shoulder width apart. Feet parallel. Drive the hips back. Find the stretch on the hamstrings. Hips back to the posterior tilt here. You should be squeezing your glutes. Breathe out here. Then breathe in. You should be breathing out when you squeeze the glutes. Bring the kettlebell over one shoulder. Suitcase lunges. So kettlebell on the right arm, like mine. Okay, shoulders and hips square to the wall in front. Reverse lunge. And then stand back up. It's the left leg that's moving, but it's the right leg that's loading. It's the right leg you're maintaining the load on. If you look really carefully, every time I go into this reverse lunge, my shoulders are slightly forward over the top of the hips. That encourages me to load my right leg and stop any undue pressure through the lower back. Remember to squeeze the butt cheeks when you stand up with a breath out. Keep those shoulders square onto the wall. Do not let that kettlebell pull you over. And set, guys. Prepare the left arm now. Okay, so kettlebell to the left side. Again, keep that head up, look forward. Okay, that's the right leg moving. But it's the left leg that's loaded. Left knee over centre of foot. Grip the floor well through the left foot. Okay, keep the heel and the big toe in contact with the floor, maintaining the arch. So you maintain good balance. Again, breathe out every time you stand up. And set. Back to your good morning. So grab the kettlebell by the horns, place it onto the upper back, feet shoulder width apart, knees soft, feet parallel. Drive your hips back as far as you can. You need to find the stretch on your hamstrings each repetition. Keep the spine in a neutral position as you find the stretch on the hamstrings. And just remember to get those hips to that posterior tilt. Every time you come up, squeezing your glutes. And that's where you breathe out. You breathe out when you squeeze your glutes. Look forward at the wall when you squeeze your glutes. And when you find the stretch in hamstrings, look at the floor. Keep your neck in alignment with your spine. One more repetition. And set. Kettlebell over one shoulder. Ready for the torso rotations. Feet parallel, knees soft. Whip the kettlebell one side to the other. Remember your breaths can be every or every other rep. Maintain your momentum now. So as it starts to get hard towards the end of the set, try not to slow down. Keep your speed. Keep whipping the bow one side to the other. And set. That brings you back to the goblet squat with press, okay? Bring the palms together, elbows in tight like mine, kettlebell against the chest, deep squat position, press the bell in a straight line. Breathe out when you press the bell, breathe in when it comes back down. Open those knees when you squat. Maintain the arch in the foot. So strong through your feet. Keep the head up, look forward. Squeeze your glutes when the kettlebell's above your head. One more squat press. And set, guys. That completes round number 2. And I'll be back with you very shortly to demonstrate the movements for round number 3. Okay, so here are the next 4 movements for the 3rd round. Exercise number 1 is a narrow hold. So the kettlebell is placed on its belly, like so. The handle is off the ground, and I'm going to place my hands onto the belly of the kettlebell. My feet are going to be wide, and I'm going to hold this position here. So this is a front support hold, hips posterior tilt, squeezing the tummy muscles and the glutes, pressing your arms firmly into the ground so you're protracting your shoulder blades. And that's the position. That's the hold. That's exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is a hand-to-hand swing. So we're going to have one hand on the kettlebell with the thumb facing forward. The kettlebell is going to swing between the legs with the left arm moving alongside the kettlebell, as I'm demonstrating here. And then each swing, I'd like you to change from the left hand to the right hand. Keep your eye on the kettlebell at all times, and breathe out each rep. Again, I'll give you more tips when we get to that movement, so I drill more form at you as we're doing that. Exercise number 3 is a Cossack. So I'm going to come closer to the camera to show you the hold of the kettlebell, because you may not be able to see it back there. So that's the hold of the kettlebell, okay? You're grabbing it by the horns. And I'd like you to take the legs nice and wide, with your toes turned out like mine are, okay? The kettlebell is held in this horizontal position. You're going to bend your right knee, like I'm demonstrating here, with your shoulders square to the wall in front of you, and then perform a bicep curl. Return to the start position, and we'll swap to the opposite side. So that's exercise number 3. That's the Cossack. And finally, exercise number 4, you will clean the kettlebell into the rack position on your right side. You're then going to take your left knee to the floor, all the way to the floor. So you're in this half kneeling position. You're going to press the bell in a straight line. You're going to keep your eye on the kettlebell as your left palm finds the floor. If you take a look at my right knee is over center of foot, and my right leg's working really hard here to maintain my balance and my stability. You're then going to return to the start position, rack the kettlebell, and repeat. Once you've done that final rep, you stand up from this position with the kettlebell in rack. And that's the final 4 exercises. So we'll very shortly start exercise number 1, which is the narrow hold. Okay, narrow holds, everyone. So feet wide. Press the arms firmly into the kettlebell, protracting your shoulder blades. Squeeze your tummy muscles, squeeze your butt cheeks. Should be encouraging a bit of a posterior tilt through the pelvis, as I'm demonstrating here. And just hold it. Your arms are fully extended. The kettlebell is directly underneath the chest. Keep your neck in a neutral position like I'm doing here as well. Don't let the head drop forward. So keep the head aligned with the spine. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth if you can. And keep the breathing steady, nice and controlled. And if you can bring the knees down. Now get ready for the hand-to-hand swing. So let's start with the kettlebell in the right hand with the thumb forward. Feet shoulder width apart, feet parallel, knees soft. Do a few swings with the right arm just to gain a bit of momentum. And then when you're ready, let's switch to the left arm. Keep your eye on the kettlebell. Breathe out every rep. Listen to my breaths. Should be squeezing the butt cheeks when you breathe out. Kettlebell swings right down the midline of the body, okay? Right down the midline. Arm connects to the body when you swing through the legs. Get ready for the Cossacks. Remember the hold. Got to grab it by the horns. Take a wide stance with your legs. Kettlebells held horizontal as I'm demonstrating. Bend your knee. Bicep curl. Return back to your start position. Switch to the opposite side. Breathe out as you bicep curl. And then breathe in. Breathe out. And then breathe in. Make sure you challenge the motion through your hips, so really drive your knee out over the center of your foot. Squeeze those biceps. Each repetition. One more repetition. And prepare the Turkish hinge. So can you clean the kettlebell to the right arm rack position? Left knee to the floor. Press your kettlebell to the ceiling in a straight line. Keep your eye on the kettlebell as your left palm finds the floor. Return back to your start position. Rack the kettlebell. Press and lock out. Find the floor again with the left hand. Keep your eye on the kettlebell. Realign. And repeat. Again, that kettlebell's coming down in a straight line underneath your center of mass, okay? So your body moves to the kettlebell. You should be able to squeeze in one more here. Rack the kettlebell, stand up from this position. Prepare the left side, so clean and rack the left arm. Right knee to the floor. Keep the left knee over the center of left foot. Press the bell up in a straight line and the right palm now finds the floor. Keep your eye on the kettlebell. What you can't see is the left leg works really hard here. So as I'm coming down to maintain my balance, I'm keeping my left knee over the center of left foot. I'm really pressing the left foot hard into the ground to maintain my balance. And it's such a good all-round exercise working the entire body. Shoulders, core, and lower body as well. Get ready to stand up from this rack position. We've got the Cossacks coming back up, so grab the kettlebell via the horns. Bend the knee, bicep curl with a breath out. Now breathe in as you return to start position. Switch to the other side with that breath out. And then breathe it in. Keep the elbows in really tight to the side of the body like I am. So keep the elbows in tight to the side of the rib cage. Do not rotate your shoulders. We keep your shoulders square onto the wall in front of you. Challenge the motion through your lower body. Make sure you drive your knee and you feel that stretch coming through your hips and your upper legs, especially through the groin, probably your hamstrings as well. And set. Bring those feet in. We've got hand-to-hand swings. Let's start with the left arm this time. Thumb forward, feet parallel, shoulder width, knees soft. A couple swings on this left arm to gain a bit of momentum. And when you're ready, switch to the right arm. And then switch back to left arm and you're away. Look at the floor when the kettlebell is between the legs. Look at the wall when it's in front of you. Breathe out every repetition. Make sure you're squeezing those glutes when you breathe out. to your narrow hold to finish the routine. Kettlebell under the chest, feet wide, fully extend the arms. Press your arms into the floor, protracting your shoulder blades. Tuck your chin, so slide the head back. Hips posterior tilt, squeeze your butt cheeks. Squeeze your tummy muscles. Hold the position. In the right position, you should be feeling your abdominals work hard. Imagine your arms are starting to work as well now, especially the last exercise. Keep holding. And set go. Well done. That completes the third and final round. If you stay tuned, I will add the cool down and flexibility routine coming very shortly. See you in a second.